Comrade Balaji. Thank you very much. Now I am very happy to invite Comrade Debashish Basu Chaudhary, General Secretary of Bank Employees Federation of India, to come and greet us.
Comrade Rajan Nagar, President of AIVA, as well as President of this open session. Professor Babu Matthew, Comrade Amarjit Kaur, Comrade CHV, Comrade B.S. Ram Babu, Comrade Lalita Joshi, Comrade Jayanath, Comrade Sanjay Khan, Comrade Rajesh Kumar, my colleagues in United Forum of Bank Unions, Comrade Rupam Roy, Comrade Balaji, Comrade O.P. Sharma, Comrade Mohan Das, leaders, dignitaries, guests, delegates, observers and friends attending this 30th conference in the 80th year of All India Bank Employees Association. On behalf of Bank Employees Federation of India, I extend warmest revolutionary greetings to the 30th conference of the All India Bank Employees Association as it steps into its historic 80th year. Congratulations to you all. Red salute. This is not merely a conference. It is a celebration of 8 decades of relentless struggle, sacrifices, and steadfast commitment to the cause of bank employees and the broader working class of our country. I pay respectful homage to the stalwarts who are no more with us, who formed AIBA, and at the same time, I express deep regards and appreciation to Comrade Sundaresan and all the senior leaders who are present with us, who took forward the bank employees movement during these long years. 80 years is not just a passage of time. It is a legacy built through battles fought on the streets, in negotiation tables, and within banking institutions, where the voice of the employees had to be asserted against overwhelming odds. AIB's journey is inseparable from the history of India's banking sector itself. From the days of colonial exploitation, as AIBA was formed in 1946, before the independence of the country, to the era of bank nationalization, and from the struggles for bipartite settlements to the current resistance against neoliberal onslaughts. AIBA has stood as a pillar of strength and clarity. We in Bank Employees Federation of India express satisfaction in working shoulder to shoulder with AIBA in many of these defining moments, like merger of the public sector banks against labor codes and several other class-oriented issues, including countrywide general strikes at the core of the joint platform of the central trade unions and independent federation, against the anti-labor, anti-worker, anti-nation policies of the ruling dispensation from time to time. We are proud constituents of the World Federation of Trade Unions. Our shared commitment to class unity, democratic functioning, and ideological clarity has helped shape the trade union movement in the banking industry. Differences in approach on some issues have never weakened the larger unity of purpose to defend the rights of the employees and to protect banking as a public good. Comrades, we meet at a time when the challenges before us are profound and complex. The policies pursued in recent years have consistently aimed at diluting the public character of the banking. The push for privatization of public sector banks attempt to increase foreign direct investment, the steady encouragement to corporate control over financial institutions, and the growing influence of global finance capital all point towards a direction that is fundamentally at odds with the needs of a developing, unequal society like ours. It is being propagated that privatization will bring efficiency. It is being claimed that privatization of the public sector banks and financial institutions will not be affected, but our lived experience and empirical evidence tells a different story. Public sector banks have been the backbone of financial inclusion, whether it is opening zero balance accounts like PMJDY, extending credit to agriculture and MSMEs, or implementing government schemes like Atal Pension Yojana, Surakha Bima Yojana, Jivan Jati Bima Yojana in the remotest corners of the country. To weaken them is to weaken the very foundation of inclusive growth. At the same time, we are witnessing attempts to undermine collective bargaining. Long-standing mechanisms of negotiations are being bypassed. Unilateral decisions, whether in the form of performance-linked incentive or service conditions, are being imposed in violation of settled agreements. The reluctance to implement even agreed demands like 5-day banking exposes a deeper disregard for the spirit of dialogue and mutual respect. The implementation of the labor codes further adds to our concern. These codes, brought in without consultation with trade unions, threaten to curtail the rights of workers and collective bargaining, weaken unionization and conciliatory mechanism, also tilt the balance decisively in favor of employers. In such a scenario, the role of organizations like EIB and BEFI becomes even more important. Although it is a fact that by passing an act, all the practice and procedures cannot be changed overnight. Till a single blood is there in the worker's body, the labor codes will be fought tooth and nail. And EIB and BFI believes that it can be fought only on the streets, and that we are doing together. History teaches us that rights are never given, they are won through struggles. The achievements we take for granted today, job security, defined working hours, pension, social security, are the result of sustained collective action spanning decades. And it is that tradition of struggles that must guide us in the present for a better and secured future. But struggle alone is not enough. It must be guided by clarity of vision and ideology. We must recognize that the issues confronting bank employees are not isolated. They are part of a larger policy framework driven by neoliberal ideology. Therefore, our response must also be broad-based, forging alliance with other sections of the working class, farmers, and progressive forces. Unity is our greatest strength. The unity of bank employees and officers, the unity across unions and federations, and the unity of the broader working class movement. This is what has enabled us to resist adverse policies in the past, and this is what will determine our success in the future also. On the occasion of AIB's 80th year, it is also important to reflect on the values that have sustained the great organization: democracy, transparency, accountability, and ideological commitment. These are not mere words. They are practices that must be continuously nurtured in a time when individualism and careerism are being aggressively promoted. The spirit of collectivism and solidarity must be consciously reinforced. We must also pay our homage to the generations of leaders and activists who built AIB brick by brick. Many of them faced victimization, imprisonment, and personal hardship, yet they remained unwavering in their commitment to the cause. Their legacy not just in the institutions they built, but in the consciousness they created. The future will test us in many ways. Technological changes, digital banking, and the evolving nature of financial services will pose fresh challenges. While we must adapt to these changes, we must also ensure that they do not become tools for exploitation through job losses, increased workload, or erosion of service conditions. The environment within the banking sector have completely changed during the last 2 to 3 decades. The workforce is predominantly young, joined during the last 15 years, and will remain in banks for more than 3 decades. Carrying forward the legacy of the trade union movement in banks rests upon them only. Hence, it is high time that we rise to the occasion. Secondly, the banks are functioning with more temporary workers than permanent employees. Temporary workers means daily wagers, contractual workers, business correspondents, now these apprentices, and after implementation of fixed-term employment, if they succeed to do so, they will be more than the permanent employees. These temporary workers are subjected to inhuman exploitation and comprehended to be utilized against the class-based struggle of the bank employees in the days to come as reserved army. It is imperative in our part to address the issue befittingly. The question before us is not whether change will come, it certainly will. The question is, who will shape that change and in whose interest? Our role as trade unions is to ensure that the interest of workers and the common people remain central. As we extend our greetings to this 30th conference, we are confident that EIBA will continue to play its historic role with renewed vigor. The deliberations of this conference, the resolutions adopted, and the programs of action decided will have a significant bearing not only on bank employees but on the direction of the banking sector itself. Bank Employees Federation of India reiterates its commitment to strengthening unity, intensifying struggles, and defending the public sector character of banking. Together, we must carry forward the legacy of the past and rise to the challenges of the present. We appreciate the theme of the conference, Unite for a Better Tomorrow. Let this conference send out a strong message that bank employees of India are united, vigilant, and determined, that we will not allow the hard-won gains of decades to be rolled back, that we stand not only for our own rights, but for a banking system that serves the people, not profits. For BEFI, the Conference of All India Bank Employees Association is not another conference. It is a conference which is guided by ideology of the working class. Once again, we convey our heartfelt greetings and best wishes for the grand success of this historic conference. Thank you all for inviting and giving us an opportunity for a historic conference that will guide the bank employees movement in the future. Thank you, comrades. Great salute once again.